Welcome everybody to the Red River Poker Championship final table. It's Pete Bushy coming to you live, almost live, 10-minute delay from the Doubletree by Hilton in West Fargo. We have reached our final 9 players and are playing for our first place prize of $9,039. Players are just getting seated right now. Gonna snap a couple pictures. We'll be going in just a couple minutes, so appreciate everybody tuning in here. Be joined in the commentary booth soon by a co-commentator once he finishes up out there.
I would like creative control over my picture. Yeah, I need some paint. I need some edits. Photoshop edits.
Do you want me to put in the chipmunks on the
If this microphone's right back there, they're gonna hear me say some shit that I shouldn't.
I wanted to use one too.
A little chilly.
Oh, you mean that?
All right, we are joined by Tyler John in the booth here. Just got done, I'm sure, crushing on a Survivor, right?
I think I donated it actually.
Oh, well, you were there till the end, so you must have. All right.
There's somebody there buying back. We had some laughs.
That's good. Yes. And I haven't even talked about him yet. So it looks like I think we'll be able to talk about him real quick before we get started. So coming in 9th place with a stack of 160. Blinds are 40-80 with an 80,000 big blind ante. So Todd Eggerdahl is at 160,000. Looks like next we would have Mark Aylander, 550. Max Bechdahl, 595. Paul Johnson, 785. He's very upset to be on the final table because that means he can't drink his beer at the table. Then we go to Craig Keller, 960,000. Looks like Brandon Schmidt, 1.11 million. Dan Patel, 1.17 million. And Tim Scott, 1.74 million. He won a huge pot right before getting to this. He had pocket nines up against Tony Euler's pocket queens and spikes a 9 for a 1.6 million pot. So that was basically 10-handed. Tony went out a couple hands later on the final table bubble here. So looks like the cards are in the air. Todd on a short stack. He's moved them all in right off the bat.
The 701 shirt, the jersey.
Yep. I believe so. He was down to 20,000 here. He got severely short stacked. There we go. What did he move in? 9-3 he found. Wade Kaiser with the King Jack. He's gonna fold it. We are 9. We're used to watching the last few hours here 5-handed play, so it was pretty brutal blinds going through these. So folds around to the Craig Keller. Waking up with 8s in the small blind. Junior, this is the final table. See some chats coming in here. 29 viewers, yep. Craig just calls there with the 8s. Little surprised. that he didn't reship there just to protect. Probably just wants to get the player out, but he also not going to pick up 8s too often. I'm kind of shocked that he didn't reship there, or at least do a standard raise with Paul in the big blind there. Paul's going to complete.
One more person to go there. Pocket pair and about 10 bigs left. Typically a shove. I'll see a flop here.
Todd only had one free hand basically. Does pick up, does hit his 3. Not much there. Craig, all unders on 8s. You gotta like that. This bet is definitely gonna. Well, Paul did pick up a gutter ball, but I don't think he's probably gonna come along there with 545. I think he would have been happy to check it down and maybe try to hit his 6, but.
He knows he has 4 outs, 3 at best, but I don't think he can pull the trigger. He knows he can't either.
No, I don't think
He
so.
wants to. Give him a little intimidation stare there.
Yep. Oh.
No. Don't have it here. There's no end. You don't want to let this guy win with some BS.
Correct. We are getting a little choppy here. Again, on this stream, we about every 9-10 minutes we gotta reset the stream, so we're gonna do that real quick while Paul is thinking about. Oh, he's gonna. Of course, we're gonna hopefully not miss it here, but Paul does find the fold. Craig's 8s up against the 9-3 here. Gonna be looking for another 9 or 3. A 4, no help there. Yep. Another 4. 4's full of 8s, and one hand in, we're down a player.
Good game, Todd. Played well.
Like I said, he was down to 20K. He basically shipped it in with 4s, made 4s full, and got a quadruple up, and then got then won the next hand as well, and got all the way up back up to like 400K from 20K, just a little 11-handed. So you're gonna want to eat that mic there, Tyler. I know they're gonna say get closer to the mic, so you're gonna want to be
Check,
loud.
Test 1, 2.
There we go. That's a little better.
The ebbs and flows of tournament poker. Todd has experienced it. He was day 1 chip leader. As he said, you got quads, did he?
Yeah.
And then ultimately his demise here, 9th place. Great showing here by Todd.
And that 9th place is going to pay $671. We start ramping it up from there, $820, and then we get into the $1,000 club starting 7th place. Again, a little over $9,000 up top here. We had 316 entries, I believe. Here we go. Mark, did I just read that right? That couldn't have been right. I thought I said pocket 8s that Mark folded.
I thought I said 10-8, but
10-8. Okay. My eyes are a little bad. So.
checking the sheet as you were speaking there. Ace Jack here for Paul.
Ace Jack. He's gonna find the all-in.
Rips it.
Wade in the big blind. Wade's gonna wake up with 5s on very similar stacks. I don't see Wade laying this down.
About 7 big blinds here to call. Wade sitting on roughly 10.
And they're going to be 50-50 here. With very similar stacks, so.
Classic flip.
Yep. Queen, 3 deuce. No help for Paul. Backdoor draws both ways. He gets another one. Needs a 10, jack or ace. And not going to be there. 2 hands. 2 knockouts. Paul could go finish his Bud Lights now over there, but we knew with it, we played 10 or 11 handed for like an hour, so we knew there was going to be some very short stacks compared to the blinds coming into this, that it was going to go very quickly, probably the first few. I think once the short stacks do a little move in here, it'll probably calm down a little bit, but can't ask for more action than that on the first 2 hands.
What's the record here for this is the 3rd or 4th annual championship?
You had to ask me, huh? I believe it's the I think it's the 5th, I believe.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
It's been a lot long since my last X.
There we go.
First time.
Gotcha. Did you play this weekend, I assume?
I did, yep.
Okay. Did you bag?
I bagged, and I was out the second hand. First hand back, I
Ooh.
woke up with ace king, Nick Rainsfeld. Opened it up, I jammed, snap jammed as I'm looking down. Ace king, out.
Wow. 2 hands in, huh? Okay. Played the second chance as well.
Played second chance.
Played second chance. Survey. You just got a little bit of everything, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of everything. I'm just
Okay.
trying to touch base on every little part.
There we go.
About tournament survivors, commentary booth.
All right, so a little, let's see. We had Tim Scott come in, limped in with Queen Jack. Folds around to Wade, who just got the nice double up there. Up to 1.5 million. And again, that's only 18 bigs. Sounds like a lot, but we're at 40, 80, 80 right now. Wade makes the call with King 4. On Brandon. Brandon's option here. Looks like he checks. I go to a 3-way.
Ben's been doing a great job from letting know his grinding short stacks. He's been up and down, and making key folds.
Oh, wow. Chip leader, and I think he's going to get a little healthier here probably.
Smashes that flop.
Yep, check, goes check, check. I don't mind a check here from Tim, but he's going to bet, and it's probably quickly going to work unless somebody's going to put a move on him here. Because both players have absolutely nothing. If Tim could see these cards, he'd be checking right behind here, but never know if somebody's got a gutter ball, something like that. You just want to take it down.
Still a nice key pot here at this point in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, 3 people at 80 plus the, we're talking that's 300,000 there basically. So that's going to push Tim up to 1.98. Couldn't quite break the 2 million chip mark, but
Tim
again,
repping the NDSU as always.
yeah. Tim Scott, all of these players pretty familiar to these final tables. Craig Keller, I think he might be a RPT guy possibly. I don't know Craig and Dan very well, and Max also a RPT guy.
Yep. Craig, I know frequency RPT streets quite often. Max, he's dealt with the RPT work with them. Also 701, I believe.
Yep.
Played a lot of different tournaments. So obviously Mark, he's been a focal point in the Red River Valley tournament scene, poker scene for that matter, for quite some time. So a good formidable lineup.
Do you know Dan at all? Have you seen
I
him?
just met Dan actually outside.
Okay.
I was talking to him. He's from Alaska. He said he moved here in 1997 with some
Oh.
family. He plays predominantly online.
Okay.
And he told me to give a shout out to Andrea. He said not Andrea. So Andrea, if you're out
Andrea.
there.
There we go.
Yep. He said a smoke show redhead. Actually, was his exact words. He
There we
said
go.
give a shout out to Andrea, but don't say Andrea.
All right.
But he says he plays a lot online. This is his first ever tournament. I asked
Really?
Him how, yes. He
Oh,
told me out
wow.
there. I asked him how many times he's played. I've never met him before, and he said his first ever time playing live in the area.
I know he had. We didn't get much. Okay, let's see. Mark.
I was actually surviving. I was
Mark
talking
got a
about
walk.
Good material for.
There you go. Yeah,
Commentary booth. Asking all
exactly.
these questions. I was like, this is awesome.
Mark gets a walk on the short stack. I didn't see much come through in the way of hands.
He'll
So,
take that.
yeah.
He's loving that.
Again, Paul out in 8th place for 820. So now everybody's $1,000 or more. Dan, I know, had a huge stack. He won a few big hands. He was chip leader at one point. But that's good. This was a 701 and RPT co-event, so we appreciate. There's still some quite a few RPT players out there. Some of the RPT crew still here. Oh wow! Speaking of Dan's first tournament, this will be a fun one. Under the gun with aces. Let's see how he plays this. He does have 1.2 million. It's only 14 bigs.
Sitting about the middle of the pack here.
Yep. And again, we started 9-handed. We're all the way down to 7. 240.
Dan P, 701 debut aces under the gun final table.
Makes it a standard 3x here. I don't mind that. See if we can find any action here. Not much so far. Just hoping somebody wakes up with something. Brandon, ace-9 on the button here. Plays it a little snug there. Mark. And Max with king-queen of suited in the big blind here. What do you think?
Five bigs.
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt if Max was in.
Pretty sure they're.
He might flat with the under the gun open, but 5 bigs, it's tough. 2 pinks suited.
I think he's gonna ship him. You know, and again, I set my timer here like they told me. It's every 9 minutes here. We're gonna reset
Max
real.
and Dan were chopping it up on break. That's actually where I met Dan. Max came over to say, "Hey, what's up?" as a Survivor. I think he knows Dan's strong here for sure.
We're gonna reset
Be
the
quite the
stream
fold.
real quick, just because I want to get
Some glitches
back.
going on.
Yep,
Inopportune time here.
yep. I want to get the get back to the action here. There we go. I don't see him flatting.
Just such a tough spot.
He's trying to get a little read.
He knows he's the shortest. The ICM implications with him being the shortest would say you got to kind of take those high variance spots, but he knows Dan's opening up under the gun with a pretty strong range. Seemed like he was getting, they were, he's talking about, he's got mad respect for him, but also at the same time, he's got 5 bigs and king queen suited. So.
Correct. If you're not going to pick, I mean, I think if somebody would have button raised him here, he probably ships for sure. But
100%.
with it being under the gun
Yep.
and not a short stack,
He's thinking about it. He knows. Could be ace king, ace queen in his range.
I don't see him just calling. I think this is either a fold or an all-in, obviously. With only, well, he's gonna
Let's
find a.
go.
Wow.
Maxwell Stackswell, baby. He knows. I mean, that's just good awareness right there.
Great.
Knowing under the gun, like you said, if it's a button, hijack, cutoff, open, I think he puts it in. But because of the fact that Dan is under the gun, he's been playing with him all day, and he recognized that Dan's range is very thin. Maxwell Stackswell makes the correct fold. I'll be at 5 big blinds. You never know. I mean, a lot of people say you still got to get it in.
Yeah.
But
He's gonna like that. I
let's
mean,
fight another day with the button coming up in
Correct.
position.
plus you never know the way this table's been going. You never know somebody else. I mean, there are other short stacks. You can move up $300, $600.
Yep.
Somebody else goes out first.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
that's your money back. I mean, it's obviously not a ton of money, but hey, $300 for surviving another spot.
ICM implications, everybody's pretty thin, big blind wise for the most part, and if there's a mistake or two, it happens a cooler here.
Yep, and we did. We came in this with 40, 80, 80, and it was a full level, basically 29 minutes when we started. So Brandon picks up 4s, decides to lay it down, and just Dan's gonna get. It looks like a walk there, so no action there.
Interesting fold there by Brandon. They're folded to him with a pocket pair, 11 big blinds. A lot of people might elect to just put that in. It seems to me that he's got a strategy for this final table. He must have a range picked out in his mind of what kind of hands he might go with in a spot like that and not put himself at risk. At his point, like, if you're getting called, you're probably flipping at best, so he decides to let it go there, the low pocket pair.
And again, he just like what we just said, and I don't think Brandon's really concerned about the $300 or $600, but there's a 4 and a 6 big blind stack here that have to be moving here. Like we were talking about coming into this, I think we're gonna be very quick down to about 4 or 5 handed, and then then the stacks will have a few more, a little bit more play left. Wade, ace king of diamonds with 18 bigs. He's got a few different options here. Standard raise, ship it. Looks like a standard raise. I mean, Wade was second. Looks like he's second in chips. So I mean, you certainly don't have to ship it. But again, when you're 18 bigs, oh, Mark, yep, Mark, ace 10, rips it in there. Obviously, Wade's gonna make the call here when it folds back around to him. And a quick call.
Roughly 30% here.
Yep, 72-28 here. Ace 10, ace king. They both know each other quite well, Mark and Wade. They've played together many, many tournaments. Mark trying the old walk away here. See if it works for him. Already halfway out the door. 8-8-3. We got some chop possibilities. Gonna need to hit that 3.
2 of spades gives Marks up.
2 of spades. He's got the 10. He's got the spades. He's got the 10. 3 deuce to chop.
10 on the river.
Oh, get back to the table, Mark.
Sit back down, Mark Allender. Stand up, walk away works again.
I saw Tim Jacobs do it twice, and worked for him both times. completely dominated.
Play well, run well, baby. That's how you win tournaments. And Mark Allender right there with a key 10 on the river. 30%, you're going to win, 3 out of 10 times. And that was one of them.
Especially when gotta love that board with how many chop possibilities, flush possibilities. So, unfortunately for Wade, Ace King takes a big hit there.
Tough spot for Wade. Those are high variance spots in tournament poker.
Yeah, Wade still's got just under $1 million. Mark up all the way up to 1.3 now, though. So,
swings will happen this stage in the tournament. It's anybody's game yet. Even Max down there, 395K. It's a great fold. He knows he's got a whole orbit yet to find a spot. You said a mistake or two here or there.
Love the commentary here.
I wasn't going to agree with that because it tends to happen.
Tierra was telling you you were too quiet earlier. I think that was a while ago, though. So.
Yeah, I saw that earlier too.
Okay.
If I'm so quiet, let me know. I don't get told I'm quiet too often.
No.
Honestly, Pete. So that's a first.
That is.
I would have rejoiced that one.
Now we got some spectators just gonna hang out in the camera area, I guess, here.
We got Chase Lardy loves to party in the chat.
There
Get
we
out
go.
of there, Sean. He says, "What up, Chase? Thanks for joining us this evening." Good vibes, Chase Lardy is. Love that guy.
Dennis says Brandon just needs to get it in bad twice more. But Brandon said that any of his YouTube followers, if he wins this, he's going to buy him a free ice cream sandwich, I believe.
What's
I know.
his YouTube channel?
I don't even know.
We better
We're
get
gonna
on
have
that
to.
just
Yeah.
in case.
He said he's got 8 subscribers, so he's
Like ice cream sandwiches. So.
Exactly. What do we got here? We got small blind versus big blind. King 8, ace, deuce for Craig. Tim just called as chip leader. Don't mind that, Craig. Gonna put out, looks like a raise, right? Must have been, because Tim folded, so I don't think,
Flat fold there, king high, blind on blind.
No,
Very
he
good
called,
dispenser.
there's some sort of raise. It looked like a 200,000, I believe.
Hard to pick up there.
Yep.
What's the next 701 event?
Oh, there we go.
that.
Good.
I'm coming at you with too many questions.
No, I love it. Guess what,
Yeah.
though? I
Let's let the
got
viewers know
that.
Here.
Here,
It's a great run event yearly, like we said, 4th, 5th annual, I believe Pete said, Red River State or Poker Championship. 4 different flights, 10 a.m., 5 p.m. The Friday, Saturdays, $165 buy-in, and it's a great turnout, great time.
Yeah.
All people having fun. They got Survivor tournaments on the side if you are so unfortunate.
we had a huge turnout for the Bomb Pod tournament.
Great
Oh,
turnout for
jeez.
that. Oh, here we go. Dan
Oh,
with
damn.
kings.
Kings again. Aces and
This guy's
kings. in the
tournament, man. His
first.
first ever tournament. Dan waking up here with kings.
Oh, man.
Craig with king, queen. And a decent stack. He might be thinking about the small blind versus a cutoff open as well, like.
Yeah. That's going to look a lot more suspicious. Standard raise to 3x. Same thing that Dan did before.
Folds. See if we can do it again.
See what Craig's going to do here.
Lets it go.
That's a
Yep.
go.
I
Wow.
watched this guy earlier. I played on the table with him for 2 hands, actually. And I actually looked at this guy and I was like, I've never played with him before, but I felt like he came here to play today. And he was ultra focused. And it's Craig right there. He just been fold.
And Wade, ace 3 of clubs in the big blind here. Let's see what he's going to find. Again, getting a little choppy here. I'm going to reset the stream real quick so we can catch the action, because I have a feeling Wade might make this call here. That, or never know, he might
put
ship
in.
it,
He's got 10 left.
unfortunately. Yeah. So I want to get back so we can see the rest of the action here.
Which now he would be at 30% if he were, which he just lost at 30%.
Correct. So it would be kind of justice, even though it wasn't against Dan.
No. Dan, I feel like, is running a bit pure at this time, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. After he told me it was his first ever tournament, I was like,
And then you get aces and kings in the first orbit. So,
yep. Yep. he
yep.
rips it.
And it's going to be a snap call, obviously.
All right. To the
And
flop.
an 80-20 here. We must have had an ace fold, I think, maybe. I didn't see one, though. But for his percentage to be that low, we must have been missing one. So we got Steve in the background here. announcing it for the rest of the tournament. We still got a pretty good crowd here with the Second Chance tournament.
Yep. Some interested bystanders.
Here we go, 10-9-7. No clubs. Wade is basically looking for that ace or some sort of running straight chop here. Oh,
Eight will chop it.
eight will chop it, ace will win it.
Or Jack on the turn, 8 or ace. 8 for split, ace for the win. 3.
Got his 3, but not going to do it. Wade.
TJ's Wade.
Yeah, Wade Kaiser going out
showing.
7th place, $1,025. Wade, a regular on the old 701 Poker Tour. Very familiar. He goes back many, many years. Oh. We had somebody saying, I heard Max is buying steaks for his followers. Max is a great guy, great dealer. Pick up a lot of Heidi running the Action Tracker there. She's one of our good dealers too. She was the last lady standing. She went out in, I believe, 14th place or so. So great tournament showing by Heidi. And all of a sudden we are 6-handed in less than an orbit. We're on hand 9, and we got 6 players left that quickly.
Over under 107 hands.
I will take the under on that.
Okay. One adult beverage.
One adult beverage,
All
yes. Oh, Max picks up 3s.
Max puts it in. Don't hate it. I could probably see Tim calling here. 21 bigs.
Chip leader.
Yep. 2 face cards.
Oh, Dan actually took the chip lead with that hand. So 2.3. So surges to the top.
Let's it go. Tim's been playing a bit snug.
10-5, Jack 8, Brandon.
2 Max's
Jack
fortune.
8.
God, I fucking just lied to you. What the fuck? You got me all fucked up, Max. I can't think, and now I got my cards in my shit.
Brandon agonizing over this decision here in the big blind. 315K to call. He's got 750 roughly in his stack. Kind of a big moment. He's got suited cards here.
He knows Max's range is pretty wide.
Yeah.
Since he's got, I mean, he started with
He's got ace queen.
5.
He's got 60-40. He lets it go ultimately. Max picks it up. Nice little pickup there for Max.
Basically 200K in the pot every time.
Yep,
so
for sure. I
that's-
mean, especially when you're short, that's huge. It's just so huge, honestly, to have that momentum as well. You win a pot without having to put your cards over on their backs and double, triple up, 50% here, 40% there, added to your stack.
He's gonna alternate every
Feels good to add chips.
Is that an option?
I'll just yell at you every time.
Heidi's threatening to yell at some of the players here. They're getting out of line. I'm assuming Brandon.
That's what I would assume.
9 fold. 10 fold.
Dan, ace 3. Folds it. Tim, Jack 3. Again, there's so short. There's going to be some ships here, so I don't think we're going to see a lot of. Oh, jeez. And Brandon rewarded for his lay down there. Going to pick up ace king in the small blind.
Patience is a virtue.
And he's going to get sneaky with it. It looks like he calls.
Mark's
and
not
Mark
getting out of line. Mark's not getting out of line.
not with the
there.
old 7 deuce there, but Brandon won't be happy if he does not win this pot.
Any ace he may have, but no.
10-5-5. Goes check, check. Oh, no.
Bing?
Brandon, yep, bink. I mean, all Brandon did have was ace high. Check, check.
Brandon's not going to like that.
Nope.
I kind of just like the jam, to be honest, only because of the fact that ICM implications and with how much is in the middle per hand.
Yeah.
I get the whole fact of
Trapping him.
to see if he'll jam, but also any 9-7 offsuits, 10-8 offsuits, Jack 8, Jack 9s. I feel like Mark's checking back, and I don't see him getting out of line too often, I guess.
Yeah, I think I like the shove there.
But
myself.
hindsight's 2020. I don't blame it either because
Correct.
sometimes Mark might wake up with ace-6. He's putting it in probably.
Correct.
And you just have him dominated. Where
Yep.
he might fold if you open jam. He could probably let ace-6 go.
Max still on the short stack, 555. Brandon 670. And then it goes Mark 1.38, Craig 1.4, Tim 1.74, Dan 2.3. So 6 players remaining. Next player out is going to receive 1305. We had a big over 100 entries for the Bomb Pot tournament last night. We had 60-some entries for the Second Chance tournament. There's been survivors all weekend. It's been a busy Thanksgiving weekend of poker, that's for sure.
Greg here in the cutoff looking down at the most beautiful hand in Texas, no limit.
Oh, there we go. Again, rewarded for his full and his king. He could have been out of this tournament probably, shipping it with the king-queen there. Good lay down there. From the cutoff, Craig raises to 200. Oh, somebody's asking, where's Kramer? Kramer says, on my couch in the chat here.
What's up, Kramer?
Glad to see him watching.
On a call. All in a call.
And Max finds 8s at a bad time there.
He's going to need Ocho.
Dave, you can still get
Trying to
Kramer's
chew out.
insights from
Cards
the,
are
from the
covered, his
stream.
clubs are live.
He's at 80-20, 78-22 here. Max
Can
going
he
to need to
continue his dream run here, Max? He wasn't even going to come play the tournament. He decided to stop by. Entered midway through the first, the second day there and found a bag. Came back. There he binks the 8. Binks the 8 on the flop. Is it meant to be? He's got a fade and ace or running spades. Two out or one time.
Yep.
Can he do it?
He does.
6 on the river. Max
Boom.
fades it and cracks the pocket aces. Maxwell stacks well. Isn't stacking them, but he's doubling up, folks. And we got ourselves a little game here, 6-handed.
Boom, boom.
Look at that smile. Only a mother could love. I met Max's mom. She's actually a really awesome lady. So.
Very good. I'm going to reset this stream real quick while we're doing that. Again, this is Pete Bushy and Tyler John coming to you from the final table of the Red River Valley Poker Championship. We'll send a quick shout out while they count all those chips. Send a quick shout out to our sponsors, Eagle River Utility Solutions, who Brandon Schmidt happens to work for. We got Tax Lady, Randy's Diner, Heidi Rogenkamp, she carried a stack in it today. Subway of Park Rapids, Dallas DeWitt, her and her husband Eric were still in the the Second Chance tournament. Ambitiously Lazy, that's Chuck Stahl, he was still in the side tournament. So our sponsors are having good runs today. So very nice and
Shout out
much
to
appreciated.
sponsors.
Everything that we can do for them, or because of their sponsorships. Tax Lady sponsors that Bad Beat jackpot. I had a feeling it was going to go out this weekend. We're at $1,100 on that Bad Beat jackpot, and with all the tournaments and tables that we had going, I had a feeling we might get close to it going out. You gotta
What
have
is the
your.
Bad Beat jackpot here, Pete?
It is. You gotta have quads by quads or better.
Okay,
So
tournament setting.
it can be the Survivor, it can be anything.
Okay.
So yes. So
Good to know for the viewers. Anybody willing to play a
yes.
tournament?
So that's a nice little bonus $1,100 chance, and that goes up. I believe it is $50 every weekend, basically.
Awesome.
So
Maybe
yeah.
it's the pain a little bit. in case you
Kramer
do have
asking
to-
for the payouts, and again right now 6-handed. Next one out 1305, 1677, 2609, 3728. Second 5778, and first 9039. Yeah, nice little prize there. One of our better payouts of the year here.
Great turnout.
Tim,
Did we ever get update on that? What was the biggest year? Is this one
I
of our
think
biggest?
I think we
felt
had
like this-
10,000 maybe
Okay.
one year,
It was
but
close
this
this
has got to
year.
be close.
Yep.
Tim picking up Ace Jack, raising it up 300,000. Over to Dan, big blind, King 5 gonna lay it down. So one time we didn't have some fireworks here.
Dan P up top there with 27 bigs. Tim in second place so far, 24. Mark Max grinding here in the middle. We got Craig Brandon at the 8 big blind mark. So anybody's game yet. One hand here or there. Final table poker, baby.
Yep. It is exciting.
You said that with such enthusiasm.
Exactly. Sorry, I was reading the
Get
chat
this-
at the same
get
time. We
this-
got 100 viewers. Very nice.
Get this
Thanks.
guy, watched an apple or something.
Yeah.
You need a Chuck Norris? What do
Ooh,
you guys
nope.
think in the chat? Hey, what kind of shots should we get Pete here?
Oh no,
He needs a pick me up.
no no shots.
Nothing else. In
no-
other words, he's doing a great job articulating the action. But
Exactly.
I'm just talking about.
Get me all fired up. We had a family thanks. That's why I unfortunately didn't get to play this weekend. We had a family Thanksgiving and hosting a huge crew. So we
You hosted.
I did host. We
Oh,
had
wow.
27 people at my house yesterday
wow.
for
Awesome.
Thanksgiving dinner. So
Wow.
yeah. Back to the action, Mark. Raising it up to 325. Dan, pretty snug fold there. King Jack in the small blind. King
Going
4
to get a
folds.
line.
Mark
Right is right this
picks
time.
it up. Ace 6. He was in the cutoff. So yeah, unfortunately, I made this final table last year. I think I went out right about this area, sixth place. I think, yeah, $1,200–1,300. So
Remember
it's
that,
a
yep.
very similar payout to last year.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep. And not gonna remember his name now. Fowler, Chad Fowler, knocked me out on the
Okay.
final table. He ended up going on to, I believe, win it, or I know there was some sort of modified chop they did last year, but I think he got the biggest share of the money, basically.
Shout out Chad Fowler.
Yep,
Pretty
him
awesome
and
sneakers there, him and Katie.
yeah, and last I saw, one of them at least was still in the second chance tournament out there.
Okay.
So
Wouldn't expect anything less.
exactly, he's still drinking those beers out there. So
Tim here in the small blind, Queen Jack of diamonds. Looks like it's blind on blind. Craig here, 10-4 of hearts.
Tim raised it up 250, pretty standard. Craig, I wouldn't be surprised.
Craig with 7 big blinds. You know, do you see a flop? You get kind of committed if you hit a 10 or 4. Obviously, 2 hearts, he's probably putting it in with what he's got left, or
Yep.
you just let it go. He elects to call here.
Makes the call. Still kind of reeling from those aces there.
Monotone flop, queen high. Tim much in the league. Without a club, though. I can't see him folding regardless, having only 5 big blinds to go against. Yep, he decides to put it in. Craig snap folds, and we're on to the next hand.
Correct. Pretty standard play there. Tim definitely doesn't want to see another club come. Just get it in while he's got top pair. Craig on the short stack, 5 bigs. Brandon 6 bigs. So they're in danger territory here. They need to find a hand pretty quick. It's 200,000 every orbit. So they can survive basically 3 more orbits where they're at.
Maxwell Stackswell there. We just had a little shot of the Sammy Farha. If we can get the camera back on Maxwell Stackswell. Sammy Farha Jr. there with the dart sitting out the mouth.
Oh, they're all calling
We're
for
not trying to promote that.
They're
We
all
got-
Thane and Kramer are calling for the fireball, but
Okay.
I think maybe we'll go have one on break. But
Winners break.
I don't
I feel like it's not
don't
for
even
a
know if
while.
there's going to be one scheduled. I
Could
mean,
use
they
a protein bar with the fireball.
there you go.
Look at Max there.
Oh, how does T Cole like his steak? They're asking you. Now that Max, doubled
Medium
up,
rare.
so
Medium rare, my friend.
All right.
Peppered, sauteed. You know.
That sounds good.
If Mason Mund is whipping it up for me, I don't need to have any sauce in it, but easy medium rare. Give me one on the side.
Tim Scott, another raising hand, ace 8 hearts on the button. Gonna look like a button steal here, but he actually has a pretty decent hand. Brandon 5-7 in the big, just finds a fold and moving on.
Try that shit on me, law dog.
All right, we're gonna try a commercial real quick while I'm resetting the. We're gonna give a shout out to Randy's here if I can get it to work while I reconnect my stream.
I like that.
This is gonna make me even hungrier.
Yeah, it's
So.
like, I'm pretty
I know. I had leftover Thanksgiving here for about 11 o'clock, and that was the last, other than a piece of beef jerky. So these are looking good. Randy's always a good place to come get your breakfast before day 2 tournaments
That's
here.
an awesome, or anytime, honestly. If you guys are in the Fargo area, if you're out there watching Randy's Diner University Drive, Randy's Diner 2, it's over by Bar Down, I believe, I don't know the street, but it's
That's,
kind of by Hooligans area.
Veterans. It's right down from Hooligans
Veteran-
and,
yeah,
and
it's
Bar
a
Down. By
great
the, by the
family
lights.
type restaurant, mom and pop type food. Heidi, she runs it. She's awesome. So
And back to the action. We pick up Brandon, shipping it with Queen 10 in the small blind. Folds over
Gives it 4.5
Mark.
bigs.
Yeah.
Mark contemplating here.
with Queen 7. So Mark Brandon would love this call. I mean, he probably wants to just get it through, but if he knows what Mark is contemplating, he would take this all the time. The old
Tough
Queen.
spot. It's only 3.5 bigs, but Mark makes it discipline full. Good job,
Oh,
Mark. You know,
yeah.
he knows like 14 bigs. He's sitting on that, and that's actually sitting well.
Brandon did
Three
show
and a
him
half
too.
And Mark feels great after
Yep,
that. That was just the
exactly.
momentum he needed. Sometimes when you show people, like trying to show like, oh, I had it, and you don't know like the reverse on it, that they're like, oh wow, now I feel way better about myself and just did them a solid.
Correct.
That was
They very familiar with each other as well. So
for sure.
Too late, verbal.
You know before it comes out. I knew as soon as I logged in.
all right, moving on. We got hand 18. It's definitely a slow down from the first what 3 or 4. So we have lost 3 out of our 9 players already.
If anybody out there is watching in the ballroom, can you bring Pete and I a drink, by the way? Is there anybody that can do it for us?
I don't know if they're playing it in the lobby right now or not.
Oh.
All right. Back to the action. Folds all the way around to Mark.
Mark looks down at 2 ladies. All the ladies love him.
Oh, and Max.
Flats it. This is a good time to flat, knowing that,
Flats.
yes,
There
this
we
is
go.
a great time to flat, knowing that Max has ace X, possibly king X here. Max checks it.
Wow.
Good discipline.
Yeah, we'll
A lot
see.
of discipline we're seeing at this final table. Some people might just rip there thinking that.
Oh.
Oh, and he binks top pair.
Spikes the king. Mark. Gonna hate that. That's a 1 red chip.
Mark's
That's
probably gonna-
100K.
He's going to peel one. He's got to peel one, yep.
You got it, just in case. I think Max got to put in that another bet there. I mean, you got top pair, pretty solid kicker.
Mark might peel. I mean, it's just king high. You might expect to get it in with this hand there. It's just so tough. You just basically check calling, hopefully he doesn't have
Yeah,
a king.
Mark's in a bad spot here. I mean,
Tough spot. Yeah, I do not fault him at all for
yeah,
putting in the chips.
any
making the
calls?
call.
I mean, an ace here might save
You
him.
hit the queen. It's a
Oh,
jack. Max might check back. Yep, he
Yeah.
checks back.
Checks back.
Can go for some value there. I like going for value, but nonetheless, he takes on the pot. Can't complain over that 3-outer. So
Moving on up, 1.4.
Mark's not liking that.
Nope.
Max moved into 14 bigs now for Max. So
Mark and Max basically traded places on that hand.
yep. Max making that king queen suited lay down in the big blind with 5 bigs. Now we find ourselves at 14.
They're getting tricky here. Mark limping with the queens. Brandon limping with the ace king.
Who's getting out of line?
No. Compared to what it was the first few hands, I mean,
Yeah. Everyone's recognizing those pay jumps. They're really starting to come into effect here. You know, it's a few buy-ins. Every pay jump now is very significant compared to pretty much the entire day. Once you make the final table, these are where you might have to make those discipline folds. You can grind 2 to 7 big blinds.
Correct.
Find yourself a spot.
all right. Tim Scott under the gun with the suited ace. Lays it down. Little shocked about that, but
Tim's
ace-
liking his stack. He said A7 suited. If I get 3-bet, I'm not loving it. So whatever.
and with him doing that, because if
Great fold.
oh, jeez.
Brandon's
Maybe
gonna put it in over Craig, who rips ace-4 off. Brandon reshoves the ace-queen off.
Tim Scott, he must have knew. He must have known. Craig not going to like this. He just got 3, basically, you know,
Craig's
he had
at
the
risk here,
aces.
it looks like. Brandon, a 3-1 favorite.
Brandon has been getting it in bad and get a couple times. I won't say very often, but he got it in with a couple times. Got it in bad. Let's see if he can hold up and he gets it in good. Ace queen. Craig with the wheel draw. 3 or 4, yeah. Nope, gonna have to hit that 3 now.
I'm sorry, Brett doesn't need
Yeah, Brandon, don't call the 3.
Nevertheless, Brandon takes it down.
Yep, and that is going to be Craig Keller going out
Five-handed.
6th place, 13:05. Good tournament, Craig. Brandon gonna score that knockout.
He has about 4:25.
No, I know. I mean, if I'm gonna fold that hand, I shouldn't quit. You know, I just.
So that's gonna. Craig is going to be knocked out in.
So now basically everybody with a million, basically. Mark 990, Max 1.38, Brandon 1.44, Dan 1.91, and Tim Scott 2.34. So going around shaking everybody's hands, and we are 5-handed that quickly.
Fast and Furious final table here. I like it. Lots of action.
Well, and Tim Scott, he folded the ace-7. I don't think, that wasn't gonna do anything. Good insights by Tim there. He must have known.
Solid player. Recognizing that I would love to raise it. I know it's a good hand, but if I get 3-bet, am I willing to put more chips in? Am I willing to call an all-in? The answer is no. He lets it go. Sometimes that's the way of thinking. I feel like at final tables, knowing you only have 10 as bid blinds, am I willing to put my whole stack in with this hand, even though I know it's a good hand? Sometimes you have to let it go, and Tim did just that.
Yeah. Kind of making a decision on the hand on how much you want to put in right away, and he just, the way things have been going, there's been some big hands already here.
For sure, Max here with Queen Jack suited on the button opens it up to 250K.
I like that. Dan 6-3 diamonds. Likely gonna find the fold button. Yep. Over to Tim. King Deuce. He's been playing pretty snug. I think we're gonna see a fold there. Max has been playing. He hasn't been getting out of line or anything here. 2.1 million though with the king in the big blind, and it was a button raise. I could see him defending as well, but he's gonna lay it down. Usually not going to like that deuce kicker. I think if suited or a little bit bigger, he might.
ICM implications too, knowing that Max has a decent stack at this point.
Yep.
There's no need to get out of line with King Deuce. You're just kind of hoping, wishing.
He might
Very
pick
well
something
behaved
up. So
proposition.
yeah, resetting the stream here. Take a look at a few upcoming tournaments. This one obviously going on right now, but we have our 10K free roll Sunday, January 8th. That's a day after the Cowboy Up tournament, which is usually a very big tournament. We got the Christmas Freeze Out to the Harwood Legion Sunday, December 18th. There's also a couple big ones coming up at the end of the year, basically Christmas week, big tournament in Minot at the Sleep Inn, and a Casino State Championship at the Devil's Lake Casino. So Mark here picks up pocket eights, raising up to 270. Over to Brandon in the big blind with a very playable King Jack here. Mark was under the gun. Again, just with these stack size, there's not a lot of maneuvering room. You can't, it's usually, raise all in. This time it looks like it's going to go raise call, I believe he put out there.
Yep, Mark opened it up. Brandon defends the big blind with King Jack offsuit here. Scene 3. He has Mark covered.
7-7-5. Mark's got to love that flop here. I anticipated Brandon checks quickly. 350, I think I heard him say.
Brandon says he folds. Mark shows him, you made a good fold. Brandon's like, okay, I had 2 overs. Next hand. Nice pick up there from Mark, and just like that, he has 35-40% of his stack. At this point in the tournament, everything's so key. You open it up, you get any sort of call with the blinds in there.
Yeah, so look at these stacks. You go from the shortest stack 10 bigs to the biggest stack 20 bigs. I mean, it's not very deep. I mean, the structure was very slow here. They even rolled back the startings. They finished yesterday or all the flights at 12:24, and then they rolled them back to 1-2 starting today. So it was.
This is where it's fun, man. Deep in a poker tournament, every decision is so critical. These pay jumps, you're getting a few buy-ins for future tournaments. You're on the live stream, right? you got a chance to just like really have an accomplishing day. I mean, all these guys very accomplished already. Making this final table is no joke. It's a great performance for all these guys.
Oh, we weren't paying attention. Tim's ace-7. Guess he would have hit the nut flush there. We didn't even notice that. Tim's probably kicking himself now for laying that down. But I also don't like. I don't mind that fold. You know, I mean, under the gun with ace-7. You know, that's tough. And he would have not liked where he started it with the ace-queen. You know.
I thought he would have called it anyways on pre-flop.
Yeah, it probably would have saved. It would have saved Craig's tournament because I don't think he ships there if it's opened in front of him with ace-4. I don't think he ships the ace-4. So
that is true. Butterfly effect.
Yep.
With that hand right there.
It saves Craig and probably knocks Brandon out. You know, because Brandon's shipping with the ace-queen.
For sure. For sure.
Dan's gonna pick up a pot there. Ace-4 raises it up, folds through. Increases his chip lead, 2.1 million. Just got Tim out pipped by a little bit, so they are both in the 2 million club. And next player out will receive 1677.
I don't think anybody heard our request to bring some beverages back here, did they?
I need a water if somebody does hear it. You can always run if you want, Tyler.
I have a water here for you. You can share.
If you want to run and go get one, you can. But the action is, I mean,
we're deep and heavy in this action.
Correct.
I mean, it's hard to get away from this. We've had some.
I like my under on the number
107.
of hands. Yeah.
Where are we at right now?
Hand 23.
Okay, well that's for Jerry and the RPT boys. If you guys are watching, I bet 107 over. Well, I set the line actually at 107. I gave him the option, which was probably foolish. I like the line. I just shouldn't have given him the option.
Yeah.
He chose the under. Yeah, I suppose I should have put that.
Brandon raising it up, queen 10, and folds through. Pretty standard. We're going to see quite a bit of that five-handed, probably. Somebody opening and one of the three non-blinds.
You gave away my hand. He folded.
Yo, $1,000 pay jump here, so
Yeah, that's
these players are not wanting to get out of line. This is juicy.
yeah, just about 1,000, and jumps up another 1,200 after that, and then 2,000, and then 3,000. So big payouts here. I'm not sure. You said Dan plays a lot online. I'm not sure how big he plays or what his biggest wins are. We'll have to talk to him about that.
Yeah,
here,
he told me he normally plays $88 tournaments on ACR. I did ask him that, asked him what sites. He said ACR mostly 88 and less, but he said he's been playing for quite a long time online. And like I said, the first ever live tournament here at this.
Might not be his last either. Then,
No,
if he,
I think we'll see this guy again in the streets.
well, and with this tournament, it was a double point tournament. So all these players are qualifying for, if they're not already qualified, for the free roll that you see in the back. We give away a $10,000 main event seat in our free roll, and that is coming up. Still time to qualify for it or add to your stack.
Yep.
Brandon
actually 2 years ago, I believe, won that.
He
right
did
here.
take
Brandon
it down.
Schmidt.
Brandon Schmidt. He
Purple
was.
glasses Skolger.
Yep.
He
He was our inaugural winner.
Yep.
Went there, played very well. You can see most of Matt Wolf's face in the back.
Matt Wolf, yeah, won it last year. That's him repping the blue hoodie.
Yep.
Behind Maxwell.
So both had very good runs. Neither one, I don't believe, made the cash, but they ran good experience. I think it was both of their first times playing the main.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah, both very solid players too. So good to see good representation out of the 701 tour at the main event. So
For sure.
Mark ace-9 in the cutoff, raises it up. Couple quick folds here from everybody, and yeah, I think we're gonna. It's kind of been the standard the last 3-4 hands here.
People just like sharing jabs, man.
Exactly.
Sparring back and forth. Step back, step forward.
Putting up the V-pip, which means voluntarily putting chips into the pot, basically. Pretty even there. Brandon and Mark both at 24%. Tim 20, Max 16, Dan 12. You know, no real huge range there, and obviously we've only played 25 hands, so you can kind of figure out how many hands they've played based on that. Every hand is worth 4%. So Brandon and Mark, typically the more active players from what I played. I have never played with Dan other than watching him today. Tim Scott, usually pretty snug. Max, I haven't played too often with him, but I'm not surprised to see Brandon and Mark at the top of that list.
500,000, 100,000, small big blind with the 100K ante here.
So in that first blind level, we had 28 minutes. We lost 4 out of our 9 players, which kind of knew that was going to happen. Again, Todd Egerdahl going out in 9th, 671. Paul Johnson, 8th, 820. Wade Kaiser, 7th, 1,025. Craig Keller, 1,305 for 6th. Back to the action here. Tim Scott calls from the small. Jack deuce of diamonds. Brandon just checks his option in the big with San Francisco 49ers here. Queen 10-10. I'm going to get a little choppy here, but I want to continue the action here. Move they go check, check. Deuce for Tim. Check, check through to the river. I believe it's Brandon's only going to win if he bets here. What's that? It does not. I don't think there is another break set up, so I did not. Yeah, Tim, looks like it went check, check. Brandon's only shot there of stealing was going to be to fire out a bet here. But at this point, doesn't pull the trigger. And we move on. Hand 27. Folds through to Mark. I think Brandon tried to come in on the small blind there. Mark raises. Ace 10 of diamonds. And Brandon just folds. None of that, Max. Huge yawn. Come on, buddy.
Because he's thinking hard about the hands that he's beating.
Not only that, but in the hands that he's beating, how drunk was he? Would you even remember?
Again, this was a $150 entry, 25K starting stack. So the big blinds right now are 4 people's starting stacks. And we're at 50, 100, 100. So 30-minute levels. There were 4 flights, all good turnout. We had 316 entries total. So generated a very nice prize pool. The proceeds, this tournament is put on by Prairie Public Broadcasting. That is who these tournaments are all usually ran by charities or other than some of the occasional ones that we do at the casinos. This one is Prairie Public. Again, in a couple weeks, we're out at the Harwood Legion, benefiting the Legion there themselves.
So now, if it folds,
And everybody's still over 1 million chips now, with blinds at 50 and 100,000. Everyone's got at least 10 bigs, so nobody's really in the danger zone, especially when you have a huge pay jump after this next one. So this next payout is $1,677, then jumps up to $2,600. So like a $900 pay jump after this one. So couple quick folds here. Brandon, Tim folds around to the button. Mark with an ace 4. Should be a pretty standard raise here, probably 250. 225, that's close. Max, ace jack in the small blind. Mark's gonna have some action. All in from Max, pretty typical there. Mark has a oh wow, Dan with 9s in the big blind. Big decision here for him. He's got 1.9 million chips. And he lets them go. I anticipate Mark probably finding a fold here. Dan was in a super tough spot there. Mark's range to open pretty big. Never know what Max can be doing. He can just be trying to defend his blind and think Mark's on a button steal. Those nines, I mean, you could be easily be dominated, but also nines, you know, 6 5-handed. Nines pretty big pocket pair at this point. Obviously, if he sees their cards, he's gonna wish he called, especially they're canceling each other's aces out a little bit. So Mark does find the fold button. Good laydown by him. Max picks up another pot. 2 million, joins the 2 million club there. Again, pretty standard. The one crazy part of that was the nines. I mean, Mark's going to open from the button there all the time. Max going to ship it. Mark typically going to lay that down, facing a ship. Dan's was the interesting one with the pocket nines. It's he's in a tough spot there, especially with the pay jumps, things like that. Max folds around to Max, picks up another hand, ace 10 on the button. Nice big stack of yellows he's got there. Kind of blends into his sweatshirt. Hard to see almost. Those the pink chips are 5,000. Yellow chips 25. Red chips. Oh, Dan, don't think he's going to be laying this one down. Small blind picks up pocket jacks. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays this. I definitely think he's going to 3-bet it here. I don't know if he's going to put them all in or not. He does. All in, Tim. Pretty easy decision. The big blind going to quickly lay it down. Now Max. Max was able to find the fold earlier to him. Much different situation here. He already committed some of his chips. Trying to talk to him, get a little bit of information here. He obviously hopes to have 2 overs. You know, he can't. He's probably not thinking he's shipping on a smaller ace, so he's trying to decide: does he have nines? You know, 8s, 7s, 8s, 9s. Is he dominating him? He's got ace king, ace queen. You know. Tough one here. They were, I think the stacks I saw heading into this hand were 2 million and 1.9 million. So I think Max had them covered just by like 100K. So it's basically would be for both of their tournament lives if I saw those stacks. If he does call, we're going to have a huge chip lead where somebody's going to have 4 million basically after this hand. Agonizing over it here. He does find the fold button. He's going to like it when he sees it on the stream or somebody lets him know. Good lay down there. Looks like we're going to get a quick dealer change while we're doing that. I'm just going to real quick reset the stream here. A quick shout out to the sponsors there. Wow, 120 viewers. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. Thank you very much. This is our 701 RFID table. It's our first time using it. Courtesy of Eric Anderson at the feature table. Gave us a huge hand this weekend getting things up and running it. Eric used to do feature table, come help us with this tournament. We now acquired our own RFID table. He was gracious enough to come give us a hand for most of the weekend. I think he had a few cocktails and played some as well. Was not here today that I saw, but appreciate that. So hopefully we'll be having this at a few more of our tournaments. We're hoping to bust it out at the bars that and the tournaments that can handle it. Hopefully, about once every month and a half. So.
I want this to be done so I can get on the road.
One roll.
Folds through to the blinds. Tim going to complete from the small. Queen 5, Brandon 9-7 in the big blind. Going to the flop. 10-8-3. Brandon open-ended. Tim not much. Check. All in. Snap fold. Pretty standard. Even though Tim was ahead. Not going to know that. Brandon going to bet while he's got the draw. Hope to just take it down, and that is what happens.
Maybe I'm just tilting you right now. You know what I mean?
All right, back to the action.
9-4.
Looks like they just updated the, must be going quick. I see the blinds 60, 120, 120. You missed a good one.
Oh, you just doubled up?
All right, so we'll get your opinion here. So right after you left, the very next hand, Max picks up ace 10 on the button and raises it. Ace 10 offsuit, yep. Dan wakes up at jacks and just open ships it to 2 million there.
At what position?
Small blind, yep. Folds back,
Okay.
folds back through to Max. Tanks it for about 2-3 minutes and does find the fold though. But both of them had 2 million to start, so
It's a great fold.
great fold by Max. I like it.
He folded 5 bigs, king, queen suited. Let's not forget. Like I could see him folding that. He's not,
Yeah.
He doesn't think that Dan's putting it in there.
And Dan had just folded those 9s, which I definitely don't mind. Oh, Dan, another big hand here. Under the gun, ace queen. Definitely going to find a raise here, I think. Again, 60, 120, 120. I don't know if we lost a player during that whole level. Definitely has slowed down. And that's kind of what we thought. Tiny, I'm just going to ignore that comment.
10 raised to 2.
Shout out Vu.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to Vu.
Tiny.
I know.
Tiny from Hawaii in the chat.
I wish Vu was still around.
I miss that guy.
His money was always good here. Dan with the min raise, ace queen.
Min
Maybe
click.
didn't min click. Maybe didn't remember the blinds had gone up, but good enough to take it down.
I mean, to be fair, you've already cleared 7th and 6th place money.
Well, I'm trying to avoid it. Well, yeah. I think I'm getting loopy, so I
Still 5-handed. Next one out, 1677. Then 2609, 3728, 5778, 9039. So. Rough Rider Poker Tour commenting. I love it. 107 live viewers incoming.
I don't know if they were here for this, so I'm just going to reiterate. We have a side bet going.
For number of hands, 107 hands.
107 hands. I proposed the number. I was hoping Pete would take the over. He took the under. He's a shark. And
Yeah, I'm not going to hold you to any sort of we adult beverage on it. That's what we bet on it.
Okay.
We can start taking
Does
some
the
hor-
water count? Or no, that's just me being courtesy. Right
Correct. That's you just being courtesy.
There. All right.
Someone was asking earlier if we got any horses. I mean, what? I know as a commentator you're supposed to be unbiased here, but it seems like you're cheering on Max probably the
Max
hardest.
is my
probably.
boy.
Yeah.
There's a little side story to Max playing this tournament. Honestly, he wasn't going to play the tournament, and I was like, what are you doing? He just wanted to play some video games, and I was like, nah, I'm going to this tournament. Just come by, and I'll throw you $100 and you buy in. And he's like, all right.
There we go.
So we got some equity.
Oh, equity. There we go. That's
Yeah.
why we're cheering so hard. Okay, I got it. Here,
I
Mark.
do like Dan, though. I'm not going to lie. And I like Mark, too. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Mark. I don't really know the other guys that well. They're all good opponents.
Mark
I like
Button
Dan's story,
raises
so.
with King Jack. Dan finds Queen Jack in the big blind. Checks through on a 10-6-5 flop. Dan firing at it when the board pairs the 10. See if Mark can sniff this one out or not. He does have, I mean, he's only got king high, but he is in the lead.
He's going to get it through. I mean, this is just a great bet by Dan after it checks back on the flop. Understanding he's at 6 bigs. If he does get raised all in, he just folds. And, yeah, he gets it through. Great bet by there. But great bet by Dan. Great awareness.
Up to $3
Chip
million there, chip leader. His first tournament. I mean, Tim, very good player. I don't know Dan at all, basically, but it'd be a good story, that's for sure. Brandon, obviously, very solid, would be in our winning our main event. Seat
Familiar face here,
Yep.
Brandon Schmidt. Always competes well. Has a love and passion for the game that you got to admire as a player, and it's nice to see him in another final table here.
All right, so you got, let's see, so you got Max. I mean, I'll take Dan. I mean, he's chip leader.
See, Dan would be, if Max wasn't here, it'd be Dan, because I met Dan, like I said, in the story that he gave me. I was like, I actually felt like he's going to win it, but I'm cheering on Max.
All right, well, how about you
But-
take Max and Dan then, and
All
I'll
right.
take the other 3 since I know them all. So I
That's-
got 3, you got 2, but you also
All
have
right,
the chip leader.
all right, that's deal. That's deal.
Fair? 20?
That's it.
20 bucks?
20?
All right,
$20 bucks.
20 bucks.
I didn't do well in the NFL bets today. I didn't do
Okay.
well in the
Tournaments?
second chance or the main. I busted second hand, basically lost all my chances first. So this could be the
Start of it, getting it
the
back?
start of the upswing.
There we
If
go.
I can get this here. Dang, Max. Honestly, if Max wings it, it's all that's erased.
There we go. Dan, Queen 10, small blind, big blind, and flops top pair. And he, what happened here? Dan's option here to act. I assume we're going to see a bet. Probably
Top
just going to
pair
go,
here.
just going to go bet fold, I'm assuming.
Backdoor flush and straight draws here. Nice looking hand there, 5-handed.
240.
We didn't get it through. I don't
Yeah.
see Tim getting out of line.
Nope. Tim, I mean, especially here. I mean, we haven't really seen anybody. It's been pretty much mostly ABC poker. Nobody doing
Yep.
any, pulling off crazy raises. I mean, people are firing, as they should, but nobody's. I don't think I've seen a re-raise.
Yeah.
Anybody 3-betting somebody with air.
Everyone's everyone's short enough where it's hard to get out of line. If you're getting out of line, you're probably playing for your stack.
Correct.
And with ICM implications, ICM independent chip module, basically the number of chips that you have is equivalent to a dollar amount, and it encourages the small stacks to maybe take more risks and middling stacks to kind of like tread water. Even if you have hands like ace-9 offsuit or 2 face offsuit cards in certain positions, like we've seen players be snug. It's okay to let them go, knowing that like other people might be more at risk here in different hands with the pay jumps as significant as they are.
Quickly resetting the stream. Ryan saying Dan is a PLO player. Might know him from online or a little bit. He does have some. Definitely has some fans on the line. Talking about he gives away free turkeys around Thanksgiving and Christmas time. I mean, he's got the good karma working for him. That's for sure.
Got the vibes. I played with him literally, like I said, two hands today. Talked to him a little bit after, but I was like, man, you're still in? Yeah. And I was like, not surprised, and I was also like, good vibes this guy has. Loads of pink chips there in the middle for, it looks like, Mark in the big blind. Can we get a color up?
Yeah, well, pinks are 5,000, so we're still using them
Are we?
because
Okay.
I think we're 6120, so we probably don't need that
Disregard
many
that
of them.
last
This
comment.
looks cool to see a ton of them.
Yeah, it does. I was thrown out for a second, and I was like, that's a nice bet.
Mark trying to dump him, it looks like.
Get him in there.
Dan, another hand. Chip leader, waking up with some hands. That always helps. Ace 10 in the cutoff. I anticipate seeing 240, 300, somewhere in there. 240, that's been a standard lately.
Good sizing, min click, five-handed. You don't need to really get too out of line there. If you get 3-bet, you might be able to get away from it, and then also you get
Tough
weaker
one
heads
for
in
Mark
there.
here. Only a 120, king 3 suited. He does find the call. I definitely don't mind that.
Those 2-3 got 3 bigs. Doesn't want to get it all in.
Yeah, I mean, couple spades or king or 3, he might just ship, or if it's, you know, and there it is.
He's getting it in.
Check. I like the check there. Oh, I think he still might get called, but I kind of, I mean, now that we see the cards, but I like the Mark check there, and then because Dan's probably going to see bet, you know, so I like the check call
More
basically.
often than not, for sure. Get it in. Also, he's also happy, kind of just take it down.
Correct.
And,
I mean, I think he would be happy to take this down.
sure, but Dan here still with a decision. He does hold the ace of diamonds, so it's more unlikely that he's.
And he does find the call. Mark's gonna like where he's at right now. 21% only for Dan. So Mark's gonna hope that it holds up.
Queen Jack running diamonds or an ace.
Yep.
We're running tens. What we're looking for here if you're a Dan fan. Mark trying to fade it all in, five-handed.
My horse against your horse here.
Yep.
You trying to get the knockout, even us up.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Oh.
Good game, Mark.
Picks up the queen, so ace or queen or diamond. Wow. Picks them all up. 3. Woof. Just looking to knock.
I thought it was coming.
I know, he picked up pretty much all the outs in the
Nice
world
hand
there.
by Mark there.
Yeah, I picked up all the. I mean, if you're not going to hit your card, you picked up the right hand there. That's for sure, or the right turn card.
Yep.
Pick up those diamonds. Pick out the.
Dan only loses about 4 bigs making that call. Don't hate it. You know, he could be up against a 7 or a 3, 2 overs.
Yeah.
Mark could be having a 5-6, 2 diamonds potentially. So it is what it is. Move on next hand. He's still chip leading. We're still five-handed.
Correct. 2.7 Mark now. 1.4. That launches him almost into. He's got 145 and Tim's got 147, but basically into second place with that hand.
You were feeling sick until he got the turn card, then you knew it would never happen. Yeah,
Oh, Ryan said he played the first 2 hours of day 1A with them. Very solid player. That must have been when they were talking about the PLO players or PLO that he likes to play. This tournament or this location, we had another first-time player just less than a year ago. Played his first tournament here. Ended up winning it. What's that? Now Mike Estes played his first tournament at this location. Took it down. He's played multiple MSPT events and cashed in a lot of those. Made final tables on multiple MSPT ones. Oh, okay. We're getting a little digital static here. Not sure. Hopefully it goes away.
Seems to.
Dan picking up another hand under the gun. Queen, Jack of spades. I mean, we're seeing some pretty big hands for five-handed here. I'm not.
Dan's been on the receiving end of a number of them as well.
Yeah, I mean, usually you're not going to see as much big hands as we have. I mean, we had a little lull there, but they're definitely finding playable hands. King 10 for Tim. He has been pretty cold here. He's going to make the call. Brandon finds a fold with the 5-7 on the button. Mark 7-8. Small blind gets out of there. Max King 4 for one big blind. He's gonna lay it down. So it's gonna be Dan versus Tim here. Tim has been super quiet on this table, especially lately. Ace 3 deuce. Nobody hits anything.
Dan with the rage advantage, so he opens up under the gun, so
Yep.
typically would have that.
Tim's
Check.
got the position on him. He's got the backdoor clubs, but only king high, which right now is good. Might think that king high is good. I mean, if Dan didn't bet the ace here, what else does he have? I mean, you could put him on a pocket pair.
Yep.
250.
Tim just has 2 overs like he does. Tim's like, how much you got? I don't feel like you have it, but also ICM. There's that little
Yeah.
3-letter.
This would be impressive if he can come up with a call here, because then I think it probably slows Dan down on the turn, and he might just win with the showdown.
I would think so.
Very tough call, though. I mean, Dan putting the pressure on. It is fishy, though, since he didn't c-bet it, you know.
A lot of pairs other than an ace might check that flop, though. If you got 10s, 9s, 7s, etc. Even if he has, say, ace 4, ace 5, he might check and then lead a turn that seems safe. And nonetheless, Dan takes it down. Nice play there by Dan. 27 bigs now he's up to. Starting to pull away from the competition.
Only Mark doesn't want it, but he doesn't count because he's the
Discussing taking a break at the end of this level, it sounded like. So.
5 5-minute break. What's a 5 minute?
How long has it been? I don't even know.
It's gonna feel like 2 hours.
Since we
It's been.
finally did it.
5-minute break. We don't have to take it 20 minutes. 5 minutes. Just use the rest.
No, we'll put a break in.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't put the break in because it takes about 2 hours. So if it's gonna be longer than that, that's 100%.
5 minutes.
Talking about taking a quick break after this level. I don't know if there's any breaks still built in at this point. Tim waking up acey-deucey under the gun. See what he finds here. Just gonna fold it, a little tight there, but just lost a hand. Brandon, king 7, nothing. Mark 10-9 on the button. Lays it down. We're gonna go blind versus blind, king 8. I see Max at least completing probably here, if not with a raise. Looks like he completed. Dan checks his 4-2. How about a couple clubs here? Let's get some action.
A couple clubs would be fun. Queen 8, queen. Max has 2 pair here. King kicker.
Check, check. Oh, a club draw now.
We're gonna bet this. We might see a call here from Dan.
Oh, don't tell me we're gonna get choppy right in the middle of his hand. We're gonna try to watch it choppy. So sorry, he does make the call. Club on the river. Here we go.
This is juicy. Max checks it. Beautiful check. Dan's gonna bet. Max is gonna rip.
Yep. I'm gonna reset the stream real quick here because I think we're gonna get a raise, and I want to see it in clear. So we're gonna reset real quick here. And we do see a bet 240.
Max has got to put it in here, I think.
We anticipate he's gonna at least. I mean, I don't see him flatting here. If you checked it,
He could flat, but yeah, he just flats. He's
just
got it.
flat,
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, he just
Okay.
flats with the
Paired board.
pair board. Blind versus blind though, 5-handed. It's tough, to give him credit. I don't blame him because if you call and you're wrong, you're out of the tournament. If you had him covered,
Correct.
it might be a different story. It's still interesting. He might kick himself later watching that. Nonetheless, he takes it down.
He does. Wins a big pot.
Yep.
Interesting play. If he does ship it, do you think he gets called? I mean,
I do.
Right?
That's he had 6 bigs and Dan bet 2.5, so it would have been about a little bit over 4 bigs, I think, to call. So I thought that's what he was setting up to do.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you're kind of just happy to win it. You are.
With the paired board, I can see a little bit of skepticism. Regardless, though, he takes it down. It's a quality pot here, a 5-handed. It's
1.6 million now for Max.
Yep.
Brings Dan back a little closer to the pack. 2.6 million. Ryan's saying that he thinks he gets away from it.
He's been playing pretty well, though. He
snug.
could, have respect for the fact that 4 bigs is 4 bigs, and what is Max check jamming?
What
it's pretty damn strong. So
correct. So
he's been playing great. I would have loved to seen it, though. I would have loved to see it.
Would have made for good action, that's for sure.
Just to see what he would do.
Yeah.
But still a great hand.
Choppy again already. I'm not loving it. Let's telling us we need a break probably, which is probably coming up pretty quick here. I know we've been at 61:20 for a while. We might take some pinks off at the break here too. So what do we got? Blind versus blind, 4-5 and 10-4. Ace 6-6 flop.
I don't believe that.
So far gone check, check. Dan betting the 5-4 against Tim, who's been pretty quiet. Gonna take it down. Some kind of his image there. Now aggression, Dan, right at the top of that list, 34%, and you can see Tim's been the quietest here. So, that hand played out basically just like that. First person that was aggressive at that pot is gonna take it down, and Dan knows it's 4-5. I mean, that's the only way he's gonna win the pot. So might as well put a little bet out there, see if it works.
You got 7:27, man. 7 minutes, 27 seconds.
Shout out Heidi though. Plays this tournament, has a nice deep run, immediately gets in the box, helps her counterparts here at 701 with the RPT. Great crew all around, great staff. It's a great showing. If you guys haven't made it out to a tournament, definitely check out the Facebook page. 701 Poker, Rough Rider Poker Tour. There's a lot of good action around the area, Red River Valley, a few weekends here and there, so come on out.
Mark finds a raising hand under the gun. King, Jack, diamonds. Max gets away from the suited connectors. 5-6. Dan folds the ace. Tim the 4-7. And gets it through.
Sam says this is Knit City. I don't disagree. Pretty snug.
Nobody's getting out of line. This is pretty ABC poker for the most part. I mean,
They're
some people.
battling. We're out here grinding.
Correct. 9K up top here. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, 9K. Yeah, you don't want to get out. You don't want to just get in queen deuce in the small and the big, running the kings like shit. You know?
Exactly.
We've all been there.
And he says, giving a shout out to Mark, he's saying the camera doesn't do Mark's spiked hair any favors. I mean, Mark always trying to look good for the camera. I mean, it's
Good looking lad there.
exactly.
Very exquisite. Mark is looking this evening.
He's gonna love watching this back.
No washing unless it's a dealer change.
I was being genuine, Mark. Invite me to your game.
He's talking like baseball game or something, right?
No, whenever they get together and just like have drinks over who they think's gonna win the football games.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Dan waking up with another hand, ace queen in the cutoff.
How about Dan? Just every third hand, he's looking it down a couple paint cards. Pair here, suited ace there. He raises 320,000 at 120, 200K plus.
Brandon, small blind, gets away from it.
Exactly how it says. Wash.
Mark,
Ooh, we're gonna see fireworks.
yep. Here we go.
See Dan getting away. I mean, it's five-handed. Mark's gonna rip it. He's loving it. He's also thinking like this could be it, but we're taking our shot.
Gonna be your classic flip here too. I mean, jacks against ace queen.
Can we see a flat though? Can we see just a small raise?
He's trying to decide.
He's counting it down to see what he would have if he were to raise.
I don't think he's gonna flat. I think that's not the. I think it's all in, or can he raise to 550?
Cut
Or
off
wait,
open too.
raise-
I don't
let's see.
doubt. I mean,
just to 320.
I
So
put it in. I think I put it in. Yep, puts it in. Dan calls.
yeah, pretty quick call, and that's pretty standard.
Mark's gonna do the stand-up walk away.
Yeah. See if it's gonna work
Is
again
he
for him.
Is he walking away or not?
My player against your player again.
With pocket jacks versus Dan's ace queen. Dan looks
Oh.
like he has a
He's sitting.
Sitting.
See what happens. He's 2 for 2 on the stand-up.
Yeah. I don't know. He might want to.
Fades the flop.
Not even a basic backdoor 3-5. Well, 3 aces,
Fades his
3
turn.
queens, 6 outs, 13%.
Binks the river.
no.
Dan running pure.
Mark should have got up and walked away.
Should have walked away, Mark. And with that, he will. He goes out 5th place. He looks disgusted. Nonetheless, great showing there by Mark. Dan running pure. Dan's first ever tournament, 701 Streets, first ever tournament in the Red River Valley Streets, first ever tournament here in the area. He's come out, he's chip leading. He just knocks out Mark Allender in 5th place. and we find ourselves four-handed 9K plus up top.
Yeah, Mark's going to take home $16.77 for his efforts. Nice little payday. Mark plays a lot of big tournaments, though, so that's just a drop in the bucket for Mark. He's just going to go, you know.
Good showing. Great showing.
Very good. And, I mean, going to play out pretty standard there.
Tournament poker. Sometimes they fall how they fall. Sometimes there's an aura about the air. Dan is running pure. We were just talking about it. There's so many big hands. He's found himself on the recipient of a majority of them, I'd say, from what we've seen. So he's running well. He's playing well. He's calm. He's everything's going his way right now. We'll see what happens here. Four-handed. Pay jump for these folks. They're all stoked.
Yeah, that's $900 pay jump for next one. 2609. Very nice fourth place prize. Chase, how's Brandon watching and playing? He's probably got his camera set, or you can't have phones at the table. You can have them at a table a ways away, basically. Looks like we're going to probably get a hand or two more in here.
Max is stoked. He's handing out the knucks. The glasses are off. He's saying he knew this.
And Dan, look at this. Under the gun.
Pocket pay here for Dan.
He's looking at him. He's like,
man, this is your tournament, Dan.
Now me and you are even now too. 2 players each.
We are, yep.
And you got
the chip leader. The overwhelming chip leader.
You got the 2. You got first and second. I got 3, 4. So this is
I got Max Stax's luscious hair and Dan's exquisite, calm vibe. This is the second time I used the word exquisite.
There you go.
It's called Mark Exquisite. Mark was more exquisite in the sense of takes it down.
40 bigs now. 4.9, then drops to 1.5, 930, 785. My 2 guys got 6 and 7 bigs here. We got.
See, this is huge. This is where ICM is massive. So if Dan, I'm sure he plays a lot online. He's aware of his spots here. I would assume that he knows he can open, min-open, might I add, a lot of different hands, a wide range of hands, knowing that these guys have sub-10 big blinds. 12, 13, 14 big blinds at max, but that they're kind of handicapped in the fact that like there's 12, 14, $1,500 pay jumps here. He's got the chip lead. They're kind of waiting for each other to make mistakes or get coolered, and he's got the upper hand. See if he turns on the aggression. He's been playing very solid. I don't anticipate him really doing anything differently because he doesn't have to. He's getting the hands so far. So.
Must have a hand or 2 left before they go on. I think they're going to take just a quick 5-minute break, so we're not going to cut away here. Maybe we'll go try to. I'm sure Mark stuck around. He loves to come in here and talk too.
Brandon's going to rip the ace-5 offsuit. Max is in the small blind, queen 10.
Max got the decision here. Brandon, pretty wide range when he.
He's been making so many disciplined folds. Yeah,
there we go.
I would be surprised if he calls that off.
King 7 as the chip leader with a chance to knock out a tough player here. Pretty tough decision. Yeah, look, he knows. He's going through it.
7, 8 bigs. I mean, he's got 38 bigs. He makes the discipline fold as well.
I don't got a problem
64,
either way.
They're going to break. They're going to break. He's willing to take it. He's got the momentum. Avoid that beat.
Yep. I don't have a problem with him calling there either.
I don't either, for sure. But he elects to just take it into break. Brandon doesn't want the break.
No, I want the break at the keynote. I just want to chop. I mean, Chin and I are heads up.
That's where I think folding a hand like that, the King 7, King X, and the big blind, like, yes, it is sub 10 bigs, but also with ICM, you can kind of keep these guys at bay. If you watch some of these high rollers on Poker Girl, some people, you understand that, like, you keep your opponents between 2 and 12 big blinds each. They're kind of handicapped themselves. They don't want to get out of line. You don't want to double this guy up. You just kind of play ABC poker, put the pressure on when it's needed, put him to the test. Come back from break. Overwhelming chip lead. He's got about 40 big blinds.
So I got some breaking news.
What do we got?
All right. So obviously they're on break. Probably first chance they've all had to talk off camera. So they worked out a chop here based on it. 9K up top. Obviously, blinds were going to be going to 80 and 160, so they're getting up there with 3 short stacks. Basically, they talked it over, the 4 of them. They agreed to Dan is going to walk away as first place, not first place money, but the most money. He's going to take 7K, and the other 3 are going to chop it up. See if I can figure that out real quick. 14, 19, 20. So they're going to chop up, 3 people are going to chop up a little over 13,000. So they're going to get about, what is that, 4,500 each. So, yep. In the original payout, it was going to go 9,057.78. Both of those 2 are actually you get taxed on them. So the way that they chop this up, it's going to be 3 people are going to get a little over 4K, so they're going to avoid that tax hit too.
Awesome.
That second was going to be.
Great job
So
by these guys.
great job, everybody.
The bad beat jackpot just went out.
And it just went out.
Are you serious?
On
The side
Survivor,
tournament?
Quad Kings, and on the Survivor, Quad Kings versus Quad Fours.
Wow. Do we have the who had it?
Bill Madison.
Bill Madison. Wow.
Into that Survivor.
I'm sorry, it's not the Survivor.
The second chance. I called it on the stream. All right,
You
so
just mentioned it about an hour
this
ago.
is crazy, guys. So Steve just came in. I was just talking about the bad beat presented by Tax Lady, Bill Madison, and I didn't hear if he was on the receiving end of the bad beat or not. Quad Kings against Quad Fours, and I believe if he told us Bill Madison took the bad beat, that means he got it. But in the second, what's that? Sean Fagerwick, our overall points leader for this season. He gets the Quad Kings.
Wow.
Bill Madison from Fergus Falls plays quite a few of these, the Quad Fours, and that is going to be the bad beat going out. I called it just a little bit ago.
That's
Wow.
pretty damn impressive, honestly.
That's going to be $1,100 going his way in that second chance turn. So it was a I guess we don't know if he got knocked out, who had the most chips, but it's obviously a bad beat, getting beat with,
$300 max on the Survivor, or I suppose with the tournament.
Oh, he said second
It's the
chance
second
tournament.
chance
Yep.
tournament.
So,
Either
but
way,
1,100, that's probably like second place or
Yeah,
second or
that's
third place
third
money
place
or
money,
something
yeah.
like that. So,
you know how much money I'm owed?
well, $20 less now.
$20.
$20. Well, I don't know. They chopped it. Let's go. I'll buy a drink.
All
So
right, we'll take that. We'll settle.
exactly. So, hey, appreciate everybody following it again. Recapping it real quick, Dan Patel in his first tournament ever, live tournament, walks away as the winner with 7K in a modified chop. Tim Scott, Brandon Schmidt, and Max Beckdahl each walking away with, we think, somewhere in the low 4s, 4,000, 4,500 somewhere.
4,300, 4,350 or so.
Yep, something like that. We could figure it out if we had a little more time, but just want to give you that quick recap. So great. I mean, that's just that's little, between second and third place money. And those guys, the stacks when we were coming back was going to be 4.6 million for Dan, 1.3 for Max, 1.08 for Brandon and Tim with 930, and blinds were coming back to 80, 160, 160. So that's 400,000 per orbit, and the orbits are only 4 hands. So Tim was going to get blinded out in 8 hands.
It's a great chop. It's a great chop.
It
At
is.
this point in the tournament, it's with those blind levels. Obviously, Dan had the overall 7K. That's
Yep.
anything can go anywhere. Great job by those guys.
It looks like he's coming in for maybe a photo there.
Photo
so
there.
great job. Appreciate everybody coming out this weekend. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, this is Pete Bushy with Tyler Colness. I think we're going to call her tonight. Go get a fireball. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.